Oh, it's just Jord.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another Little Nightmares Theory video. That's right, another Little Nightmares video. Don't you worry your pretty little heads, everyone. I am not done with this game until I figure out every nook and cranny of this story and plot, because as someone who needs answers, this is killing me inside. But speaking of killing, remember a few videos ago where I stated that the hanging man was murdered? Well, if you didn't believe me then, this video is going to change your mind. Now, before we go any further into the video, I need to give you the spoiler warning. So, this video will contain spoilers for the whole game. If you do not want to be spoiled, then please go ahead and play the game, read the comics, play the DLC, and the video will still be here, so don't worry about it. Just go play, go do what you need to do, get caught up, and come back to the video. So, with that out of the way, today I wanted to talk about the hanging man again. Now, I know it seems somewhat tedious and somewhat of a waste of time, but after this new evidence that I believe, we have more information about what's gone on with the hanging man and also what else it could mean. And just a forewarning to all of you, some of this video does go a bit into a dark zone. I say this because we're going to be talking about dead bodies in some great detail. So, I don't know how you guys and gals will react to this, and truth be told, this is one of the reasons why the Pet Scott theory hasn't been released, because that video, in theory, is just sadness after frame, and maybe a hint of anxiety in there as well. Anyway, back into the actual theory video. First, let me go over my other video so you're up to speed with the hanging man. In the video, I made the point about how the chair under the hanging man hasn't been knocked over, and this would be the thing that he needed to support himself on to therefore commit suicide. So he would have to kick the chair out and remove the support from under his feet, which then would result in his suicide. But because the chair was standing normal, I believe that the hanging man was killed. But this poses a problem, because now we have more questions than answers, and in today's video we seem to have found more evidence about the death of the hanging man. In today's video, there are a few main points that I wanted to share with you all, but the first point is going to be a bit disturbing, so here's the warning for that. Don't worry, I'm not going to be showing anything distasteful, but I will be talking about it because it's very relevant to the situation. So, the other day, while I was researching my chef theory, and by the way, regarding that theory, I wasn't happy with how it laid out and recorded, so I'm doing it again. But anyway, I had to go back to the start of the game and replay some of the chapters again and again, and as you can imagine, I had to venture my way through the depths of the hanging man again. After looking up at the body for a few seconds, my doorbell rang and I went to go answer it, and it was Amazon, if you're wondering. When I returned, I noticed that the game scene was still swaying in motion of the ship and thought nothing of it, but before I moved 6 again, I looked up at the hanging man, and to my surprise, the ship was still swaying, but there was no movement coming from the hanging man. Now I know what you're thinking, Jord, why is that even important? Well, what if I told you that the death of the hanging man didn't take place days ago, or even right then? What if I could give you a time slot, or an area of time when he was killed? Kind of like a CSI detective, but the More edition. Well, I can, and this is all thanks to something called, and this is where it gets dark, rigor mortis. I know what you're thinking, what is rigor mortis? Right, and so we begin with the word itself. So in Latin, rigor means stiffness and mortis is of death. So the third stage of death, this is one of the recognizable signs of death caused by chemical changes in the muscles post-mortem, which causes the limbs of the corpse to stiffen. Rigor mortis generally sets in about 3 to 4 hours after death and peaks at its stiffness at 12 hours and dissipates after 48 hours in humans. This is, I believe, in animals different, depending on a few factors. So with that being said, we have our time window, anywhere from 3 to 12 hours in that time frame. The hanging man was killed. Another thing that I wanted to touch up while I was noting these theory ideas for the episode, I left the game up and 6 was just standing in the hanging man's room, and what I heard was a tad disturbing, even by Little Nightmare standards. Let me play you the video with the audio amplified so I can show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so now you've heard the unedited version, let me show you what I found when I edited out some of the surrounding sounds, and I tried to focus in on the vocals or whatever was playing back. Somehow, Little Nightmares just got a whole lot darker. Now, upon hearing this, I jumped at the chance to see if I could find it anywhere else in the moor. So I checked all the areas, and to my surprise, I never found anything apart from that certain spot. So what could this mean? Well, I think it's purposely made to play that audio only at that part, to maybe tell us something or someone that we have not seen on screen is responsible for the death of the hangman. With that being said, we don't know whose voice it is, but this is the thing that baffles me quite a bit. We know what the lady sounds like, and we kind of know what the granny sounds like, and we know the granny doesn't come out the depths, so we can't say the granny, and the lady is busy upstairs, obviously, as you can imagine. So, in hindsight, could it be a lady that we haven't met yet? Or, as far-fetched as it sounds, could it potentially be the lady on the TV? But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you think of this theory. And if you have any ideas of your own opinions on this theory, please let me know in the comments below. I'd love to know what you guys and gals are thinking. For me, this is a definite interesting find, and throughout the whole game of Little Nightmares now, I will be on the lookout for any sounds or something in the background. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, please remember to like the video if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't like it, subscribe to the channel if you want to support the more theories to come. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I wish you all the best, and I'll see you in the next theory video. Bye!